First comment comes from Pan41 Costas, and they say, greetings from Greece. And then they put colon, sovereign, colon, space, Hellenic hyphen nation, period. Very interesting. They start out with a pronoun, adverb, dangling participle verb, and then they go into a correct sentence structure title of 567. So my Kuleana to that was, I've never met an entire nation before. Greetings, Hellenic nation. And I mean that. I am being slightly cheeky. So if I'm to read this out in full correct sentence structure, instead of using the colons, putting in the positionals and lodials, it would read, for the sovereign of the Hellenic nation, period. So to me, what that means is, this individual, Pan41 Costas, claims that they are a sovereign, and they are concerned with, or perhaps a member of, the Hellenic nation, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but that's all well and fine to be a member of the Hellenic nation. The way that I corresponded back to them, I was trying to nudge them in the area of, hey, look, you're kind of maybe assuming that I know what you're talking about. Maybe a little bit more data or a little bit more down to earth, plain simple English. Or if you have closure on correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax, grammar list, just communicate that way. That'd be wonderful. Oh, the other thing that I see is any time I see someone use the word sovereign, anytime I see it, that immediately throws up a red flag to me that their knowledge is perhaps not as sound or complete as they perhaps themselves would think it is. Now I digress, folks. I'm not saying that I know everything at all. No, not even close. Not even close. But I do know grammar, and I can say that I know correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax, grammar. I know PARSE. I know etymology. I do know those things. And I do know that in general, what a sovereign means is if you, as a human being, a man or a woman, want to claim to be a sovereign, that would mean you do not rely on anyone else's money. You don't use money created by another man or woman. You use your own money. You're self-sufficient. You don't buy fuel from other people. You create your own fuel because you have your own land with its own resources, i.e. you are sovereign. You're self-sufficient. You don't buy food at the store. You grow it. It's on your land, or you hunt it. It's on your land because you have land and you're a sovereign, and you don't use other people's electricity. You don't pay an electricity bill. You don't pay a water bill. You have your own water. You have your own electricity. Folks, that's what a frickin' sovereign is. There is no one on this earth that is sovereign that I know of. I've never met one. Even though DAVID-WYNN Miller claimed to be one, in a literal sense, he was not a sovereign. Just like in a literal sense, he was not a king of Hawaii. He was a king in a grammatical sense, by his own claims that you can find on his original website before it was modified by Mark lowercase k. He wasn't like a literal king, so that's kind of what sovereign is. I mean, I've heard people say they're spiritual sovereigns, which I can't argue with that. I mean, that's your own thing. But if you literally say you are a sovereign on this earth, in this domain, I don't see it. You have to prove it to me. Show me the money that you printed or you minted or whatever. Give me a tour of your compound with your land, with all your gardens and your fossil fuel mining equipment to create your own diesel and your own gasoline, and refinery, your own refinery, and your own electrical power plant, your grid, whatever you use, solar, whatever it is you, windmills, I don't know what you use. Show me all that, and then I will believe that you're a sovereign, and I'll shake your hand and I'll say, my bad. Next comment comes from Michael Scott Maxey. That name sounds familiar. And they say that's in the category of a unjust war. Plain simple English, Michael, you would use the article an, because unjust starts with a vowel. And in the fiction babble, if the next word starts with a vowel or an H, you would use the article an. Without a declaration of war. So you're correct. It's not an honor. It's an unjust war to do acts of war without a declaration of war. And my cooliana to that is there such thing as a just war? It's just war, dude. Calm down. I do not participate with the psychological concept of war. However, I do participate with the surety of the aegis and safety of my construct and biosphere. So I just had to put that out there. But let's get back to his comment here, and let's pick apart the grammar here real quick, because they're not using brackets, and so they're participating with adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble, a fictitious conveyance of grammar. So we can do that. We, as in me, myself, and I, the Trinity. So we have the word declaration. What does that mean? It means a contract with no clarity. DE means no, as in defrost, no frost. De-escalate, no escalation. Declare, no clarity. Clare is clarity. And an ION is contract. So no contract with clarity of war. So you're correct. It's not an honor. So I think what this individual is trying to say is that it's unjust to attack someone without declaring that you're going to attack them. And this brings me to a little pastime I like to indulge in every so often is once in a while I will watch gaming streamers who role play inside video game servers with other role players and streamers. And they stream what they do. And they have conversations and act like it's real life, but we know it's not real life because it's a video game like Grand Theft Auto 5 online or something like that. And there's always a rule, usually a rule in a server, where you have to initiate before you attack another player, as if, you know, get into an imaginary gunfight or whatever. You have to say something to them. You have to come up to them and say, hey, I'm going to get you right now, or meet me on the streets or something. And then after you declare that, now it's okay to fight or shoot or whatever. If you come up and you just bop somebody in the game, like an RDM, that's against server rules, and you'll probably get banned or reported at the very least. So that's kind of what this person is saying. You have to declare you're going to attack someone before you do it. Otherwise, it's not justified. Okay. So if I'm in my house and I'm looking out the window and I see someone, they can't see me, but I can see them sneaking along the side wall with a huge machete, and I can hear them through my Ring camera audio. I can hear them mumbling to themselves, I'm going to unalive Jason. I'm going to decapitate him. I'm coming to get him. I'm not going to stop at anything. Am I supposed to walk out inside and say to that guy, hey, I'm going to attack you, and then fight him? Or do I just go out the back door, come around the side, and eliminate the threat with little to no bother? You see what I'm saying? There's no such thing. That's why I don't participate with war. I only participate with the concepts of safety of the vessel and aegis of the vessel, doing what I have to do to ensure that. I never attack someone unless they're going to attack me first, or there's imminent danger, or they are attacking. It's the same thing with correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. So that's why, after a lifetime of looking at all this stuff, and actually almost joining the military myself when I was 20 or 21 years old, I've decided that that's not my thing. That this society has gone through a perpetual cycle in history of war, and more war. That's the answer to everybody else. That's the answer to the problem that everybody sees. Oh, to bring peace, we have to make war. Well, you know what the saying, fight for peace, right? Isn't that kind of like saying screwing for virginity? I mean, it just doesn't make sense, does it? So, anyways, thanks for the comment, bud. Next comment comes from Austin, and they say, Gould selling out. I got an email from his compassing I shouldn't focus on suing, but then they promoted their court's secrets in their next email as a promotion SMH. So again, I don't know if this individual was using talk to text or whatever, but whatever the case may be, they felt the urge to share this with this YouTube channel, but they didn't feel like it was important enough to spell check it or reread it and make sure they were clear. And so I must reiterate, folks, repeat, say again, communication in this domain is key. Whether you're using quantum grammar or plain simple English, being as clear as you possibly can without trying to convolute or complicate things or make things messy. So I'd appreciate it if you feel it's important enough to leave a comment to make sure that the comment is as correct as you can get it. Because if this is as correct as you can get your comment, then you're going to have a great deal of difficulty learning quantum grammar if that's what you're with the volition of doing. So I'm going to read this comment again, and I'm going to kind of guess what they meant. So they say Gould selling out, meaning probably :Russell-J: Gould selling out. I got an email from his company saying I shouldn't focus on suing. There should be an E in there, I think. But then they promoted their court secrets in their next email as a promotion. So I get it. Russell's been saying for years that the courts are closed. Folks, it's the holiday season right now. If you walk down to Macy's or TJ Maxx or Kohl's or wherever it is you shop, Dillard's, and you see the parking lot is full and people are bustling and hustling, going in and out of the doors with their carts, with their gifts and their children, and all sorts of commerce going on there, you know that those stores are open, right? Obviously they're open. But if you go out there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, the parking lot's empty, doors are shut, you try to go to that door and it's locked. An alarm might even go off. Why? Because it's closed. Go down to your local district court or wherever. Hell, go to a Supreme Court at 3 o'clock in the morning and see if the door's open. It's not. But if you go there after 9 o'clock during a weekday and it's not a holiday, you're going to see the parking lot is semi-full, and you're going to see people going in and out. You're going to see police officers standing there near the security checkpoints. Obviously, the place is open for commerce. So I don't know what Russell's talking about when the courts are closed, or that the government's been shut down. Because I don't see any evidence of it. But yet, as this individual says, Russell's people promote selling court secrets, meaning, I guess, secrets that no one else knows about to Get yourself out from under the court system, the fiction court system that's supposedly closed. There's just contradiction upon contradiction. The interesting thing is that those cult followers that follow Russell, that doesn't matter to them. They just ignore stuff like that. They're so enthralled with their guru that they just parrot whatever he says. Luckily, from my perception, Austin did not fall for that bullshit scam. Next comment comes from Property Geek, and they say, for this claimant sensation of the creations is with the claim of the gratitude, with the knowledge of the life, with the design of the many forms, and with the many parts of the creator, with the beauty by this claimant's sensation. Now, without reading my Kuleana here, I'm just looking at this, and it looks like if you were a novice looking at this, you would think that was correct sentence structure, right? You would think it is. It's actually very high level beginner, because Property Geek is a beginner at this stage, although he's been studying for a few years. So that's why I went into what I went into in my Kuleana to his comment, because I'm hoping to show him that you really have to look at what you're doing here, because his positional sequencing is incorrect, and there's a particle of negation in one of his facts. And also, I brought to his attention the word many, and I asked him, what is your correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, finite mean, and closure of the word many? And then Property Geek responded back to me using adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, English babble, which I did not ask for. I'm asking him for his correct sentence structure, finite mean, meaning for the finite mean of the many is with the claim or whatever it is. But he didn't do that because he doesn't have one, and I knew he didn't have one. When I asked the question, it was sort of a rhetorical question, but I'm trying to nudge him ever so gently in the direction of be careful what words you're saying and claiming, because if you cannot give closure to your facts, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And if you actually have to use this in a real life scenario under duress, your whole shit's just going to fall apart if you don't have closure on your facts. While we're on the subject of closure of facts, do you see the particle of negation in one of his facts? Design, D-E-S-I-G-N, means no sign. Why does D-E mean no? Well, again, defrost, no frost. Defrock, no frock. Do you know what a frock is? Look it up. So on and so forth. And now, just to get a little nitpicky, there is excessive spacing in one part here where I see a double space, which is probably a typo. You know, it's an error. You probably didn't mean to do that. But again, like I said in the other comment, you gotta look at things with a fine-tooth comb if you're going to do this. And lastly, the positional sequencing. Does anyone see where the positional sequencing is incorrect? It's around the conjunction there. With the conjunction is giving the numerical value of 0, it's neutral. It sort of serves as a bridge. Now, in the correct sentence structure context, it serves as a bridge between position lodio fact phrases or facts, i.e. it serves as a bridge between 5, 6, 7s or 7s. In the fiction, when we're syntaxing, it serves as a bridge between any of the 5 syntax scenarios or any of the adverbs, verbs, adjectives, or pronouns. So being that this is a correct sentence structure, what happens on the port side of the conjunction must also happen on the starboard side. So if you have with the design of the many forms and, then you would have to follow the and with of the many parts, not with the. You can't have of the many forms and with the many parts, because that negates the mathematical interface. And 1 0 in a multiplication problem zeroes the whole damn thing out. So the way to fix it, Property Geek, would be of the many forms and of the many parts, with the creator of the beauty, with the sensation, Or actually, you already have the word sensation, so you could say something like with the perception, or actually even better, with the cognition by this claimant sensation. And that's how you can fix it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. My gift to you, you're welcome. And here we have another wonderful comment from the Russell J. Gould aggressive cult followers, writing adverb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble in all caps, in brackets though, saying you do not have the authority to use the technology. If you did, you would know why he put the fiction on notice of your wrongdoings. The closure comes with knowledge. So complaining to the public without the knowledge has no point. You will get closure when you are behind bars for copyright infringement, though. We all look forward to you paying for your treasonous acts. Good luck. And my cooling on it to that is, the only time you even know what authority means is when you wipe the shit off your lips after you're finished kissing Russell's ass. Period. So let's pick this apart here. So this guy's claiming that someone else, i.e. Russell, put the fiction on notice of my wrongdoings. Well, if it's fiction, who cares? Because it's just an opinion, right? And what am I doing wrong here? And then they say, you don't have authority to use the technology. Actually, Russell doesn't have the authority to use the technology because he doesn't know how to use it. Show me a document and I'll pick it apart. He uses incorrect positionals. He uses particles of negation in his facts. He incorrectly uses italics, excessive spacing, and for a few years there, he was actually putting a spire on top of the 1 by 1.9 flag, which actually negates the constitution of the flag, meaning it's not a correct sentence structure flag. There's so many things I can point out. So until that's addressed, there's nothing that can be done to me by anyone unless they can prove that I'm actually using incorrect grammar. Because the way it works, Jamal, and this is my Christmas gift to you because I'm feeling magnanimous. Do you know what an author is? An author is someone who writes something. They have to have knowledge and cognition to know what they're writing. So if you author something and you have that cognition, then you are authorizing something. You are authorized to do something. So if you have closure on the grammar, the correct grammar, then you are authorized to use that 1 by 1.9 flag. It doesn't mean that it's your flag. You're not possessing the flag. You're using it as a communication tool to show that you're with the oite, i.e. usage of correct grammar. That's all. It's pretty simple. But you wouldn't know that, would you, Jamal? Because you don't know anything about correct sentence structure. Because when I started asking you, or telling you that you don't have closure on the grammar, or questioning you or pressing you about the grammar, you immediately deleted your comments. Immediately. Because you know you don't have a leg to stand on. You're just like all the others that come here and try and troll and act all like Mr. Tough Guy. And then you just disappear when the grammar comes up. Just like the fiction does. Why? Because you're fiction. Just like Russell's fiction. And all your little friends over there. So just stay over there in your little pocket. Keep shelling out your cash to pay for whatever Russell's doing in Arizona. And you all be happy over there. Because what you're doing has absolutely nothing to do with correct grammar. Addendum. Jamal says, we all look forward to you paying for your treasonous acts. So they're all looking forward to me going to prison. What a wonderful thing to wish on someone who's using correct grammar. Or even if hypothetically I wasn't. Is using grammar a reason to put someone in prison? Wow. So Jamal, that's the kind of system you want, huh? You want an authoritarian dictatorship run by a dictator, huh? That tells me a lot about you. And then they say, yep, run Forrest, whatever that means. Then I said, no one's running here. If you knew anything about correct sentence structure, you'd run away from your hero guru as fast as possible, but you probably don't possess enough neurons to figure that out, which they don't. They immediately deleted their comments, and then they actually screenshotted this comment, not my response, but this comment, and posted it as a short on their YouTube channel. And they don't even have any subscribers, I don't think, with no explanation or anything like that. So it's amateur hour over there. You want to run with the big dogs, you got to get off the porch and at least learn how to communicate. Spasiba. And das vidanya. I'd like to end this one on a positive note, and this one's from Ted Berry Combo, and they say, hi Jason, thank you for answering my questions. I will start with the mini class and then move on to other playlists you mentioned. I like the way you answer the comments. I learn a bit and it's entertaining. Kindest regards for the season to you and yours, Jason. Thank you much, Ted Berry Combo. I appreciate that, and that's the first time anyone's ever told me that they like the way I answer the comments, and I appreciate that. Because from my life experience and being on this earth for almost 53 years now, there's not very many people out there that appreciate my brand of humor. It usually just pisses people off. But I don't do it on purpose. I actually do it to amuse myself more than anything. Because there's not much that amuses me. But I do thank you for your comment, and I hope that you get the bitten by the bug and you start studying the 1,000 or so videos on this YouTube channel that are free to you, that you email me at jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com and apply for a workshop, because we are always happy to have folks like you who are polite and with the balance of the honor and the grace and really want to learn the grammar. And because there are so few folks out there that really know the grammar and can really prove it. Why do you think that those other people out there who claim to be some sort of grammatical authority will never challenge me on the grammar? They will never do it because they know they will lose.